Okay, here's Overload, and he is having his third post-track ride, and he's heading out to the field. And he was such a good boy that we even introduced some logs and things, so he saw his first jumps today as well. And Overload just continues to strike me as just the all-around good dude. I think that if you are an adult amateur who is looking for just an absolute solid citizen to develop for yourself, to become a novice training modified level packer type down the line, then that is absolutely this horse. He would love to follow that trajectory. Also, I know it was in the background, but he was so good there. We had two cars passing us in opposite directions right when we had gotten out to the field, and he was so good just to ignore that. He is just not really impressed by anything. I mean, it's both good and bad. It's good because it makes him super rideable and dependable, which of course is more important than anything else. But it's bad because he was just sort of nonchalant about the whole experience out there. So when we started going over logs and things, I had just ridden Wiz, who did some over jumping and really enthusiastic logs. And Overload's just like, yeah, I'm happy to do it, but I don't think I'm gonna expend any more energy than what's absolutely necessary. So he actually just wanted to have a trot over things at first, like they were just like a large ground pole, which is great. He did actually jump a few in a jump like motion, which was very good. I mean, I'm thrilled with him because I mean, just what a good boy. I mean, super easy, straightforward. You know, look up, steer, and kick, and that's basically all this horse requires. He actually, I thought this was his best ride yet, and I thought I had him straighter here, and there was less commotion about, staying straight through his shoulders. He was just very rideable out here in the field, which it can go either way. Sometimes they're happier in the field, and I think part of that can be because obviously you're not turning nearly as sharply as you are in the ring. You've got a lot more space, so you can make bigger turns. You're going straighter for longer stretches. But conversely, you don't have the parameters of a fenced in, obviously a much smaller space fenced in arena around you, where you really can use the rail and the fencing along the rail sort of like as a crutch for your outside aids. And maybe you don't even realize that you're doing that until you get out into a big open space and you're left without that sort of external aid and you realize maybe how much you were depending on it. But that was not the case for him, actually. I thought it was very good out here. And then, of course, sometimes they come out here for the first time and they just get a bit lit up because there's so much to see out here and the traffic and just a million things for them to take in. It's just super different than being in the ring. But not the case with Overload. I would love to see what it takes to get this horse actually a bit jazzed up. And Overload is a 16 and a half hand 6-year old thoroughbred gelding by Corfu, which is a Malibu Moonline. And he just had his last start about 2 weeks ago. So he's just right off the track. And this is just his third post track ride. So really, I mean, what a champion. There, I lost the outside shoulder a little bit. One thing that cracks me up about this horse and also Wiz, the other horse I rode out here today, is with both of them, it's like, they're race horses. They're right off the track, and it's like, can I one get them in the canter, and then two, can I keep them cantering? And it's like I'm out here in a big field. You would think that they would be just happy to just sort of whiz around in the canter, but let me tell you, it took quite a bit of leg and convincing to get these guys to expend that kind of energy. It's just funny because you think you're sitting on a racehorse, but uh, they know they're not at a race. They're just not. This is just their true nature. And obviously, I'm aware of the fact that we're on the incorrect lead, but I kind of first ride out here when they've had so few rides to begin with. I'm not really too worried about which lead we're on. I'm more worried about kind of the rideability, the straightness, the mindset, all that stuff. And honestly, I mean, I'm just glad that I got him to canter at all. So that was remarkable. I got him to canter pretty much an entire loop around the field. So then, of course, we took a walk break. And so in our walk break, we just took the time to walk over a bunch of stuff. He is so unfazed. I like how he really put his head down to look at it. He's so cute, having a good look at it as he walks up to it. So funny. Just so funny the difference in the two horses. Overload's like, you're gonna have to convince me that I'm gonna need to use more energy than that. I would say he made a half a jumping motion. He made a, well, maybe not even a half, maybe 20% jumping motion there with the front legs. Very funny. That was good. And then this log he's coming to here, this was the first one where he made a true and honest jumping effort, I would say. So that was very good. This is a horse who, even when we started jumping, it's got to be, leg on all the time. He certainly did not get worried about this whatsoever, which is great. We don't want them to be worried about this. We want them to think that this is a fun, easy activity. And then by about here, I think he's starting to get a little bit tired. And he's almost done. So I thought we'd just end by trotting down the couple of jumps along the fence and road line. And so I thought we'd be snazzy here and turn to jump this log that's on the short side. But then it became apparent to me that we weren't going to make the turn in the trot. It was too short, tight a turn. So I thought, well, there's just no harm in walking to sort of make the point of you got to listen to the aids. We turn where I ask you to turn and then just walk over the log, which he was super happy to do. So then here he has a little bit of a left right, but he's a good boy, so go. So I thought we'd just circle around and do it one more time just for his confidence. And so here he actually canters up to this next log and jumps it really super nicely. This was his best jump of the whole school. So that was absolutely awesome. What a good boy. So then I thought, oh, we'll canter this one too, but we kind of got there on a half stride, and he added up and chipped in and made it work. So that was very good of him. But kind of like with the first one, I thought, well, let's just circle back around and make sure that his confidence is good. And I wanted him to be done after this jump, but I just wanted him to end on a really sort of confident last jump, not a little bit of an unsure at it. And so then that was really good. But he's definitely super tired at this point. And here he is on the ground. He is just absolutely adorable. Super, super in your pocket.